Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Tuesday, August 22nd, 2023. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Here's a look at the ES in the daily time frame. A little bit of overnight strength right now, pre-market strength, following yesterday's bounce into the close. A couple of days higher here, higher highs, higher lows from the Friday strong intraday low, which helped turn things around. Now, given the trend that we've seen here, this is a downtrend for the month of August. Is this early strength going to be met with rejection and resistance that could lead to another round of weakness ahead? Similar to this update being dropped here, or this update and down, any of these here being dropped on the way down. So one of the cues that we'll be watching for here is that 8-period average. It dropped below the 21, dropped below the 34, and is now below the 55. And that right there really shows the deterioration of the uptrend here and can be a big time failure. Now, one of the things we're going to want to watch is obviously how does price respond in this zone. Coming in here, you're now starting to see a down trend that is very mature here, and the next push into the zone. 44.50 from below could be rejected, and you could start a new move downward. We have a gap to fill here at 43.0475, so 43.05 basically. There's a gap fill there, and then we also have the 4200 edge down below after turning down off the 4600 edge. So we could be still working our way down toward 4200. Up ahead, there's also value down below. So watch the previous session's highs here. If there's a failure back below those highs sometime during the RT8 session, it could begin to mark a failed new high in a downtrend that could become quite bearish and ultimately could become a bearish outside day down. Now again, failure at the previous session's high would trigger that. If we continue to hold above that previous session's high, and better yet continue to see upward price discovery, then the upper edge at 4,500 may be in play in the best case scenario. As we mentioned before, breaking back below this high right there would suggest a drop all the way to the bottom. We got that, and now maybe we can bounce all the way back to the top and stay in the range here. So as high as 4,500, if price can stay above the previous session's highs. If we take a look here at the NQ, big time turnaround the previous session as well. Big rotation back to the upside. Nice, decent low here so far. Overall, this gap fill right here nearly getting filled before the bounce, and we have this downtrend that's still in play. We are testing prices here back above the previous session's highs, back above the previous month's low. So again, if there's a failure to hold above those levels, if we start to drop back below the previous session's low, or previous month's low, we drop back below the previous session's high, you're going to start to get a failed new high that develops something like this or something like this, where it took out the previous session's high and starts to rotate back into the previous day's range. Of course, given the downtrend, this also is not the strongest pivot low. It's strong enough for an intraday reversal or a modest one as we've seen, but not strong enough likely to really turn things around on a big scale. So if price does drop down here, maybe a lower low failure or maybe a stronger low up ahead could turn things. But right now, keeping an eye on the previous session's high for potential failure at some point. If prices can hold above that zone, perhaps we continue higher. The next zone above could be retesting the FOMC key level above here, 15,556. That could be the next level above if prices continue to hold above these levels. All right, taking a look now at crude oil. Crude right now showing quite a bit of weakness here. The previous session, we mentioned we wanted to see how price was going to respond up here, and if price was going to fail back below 81s, I mentioned it could be a big time rejection here. It could be kind of a 3-point reversal or head and shoulder reversal type of pattern. And now we're looking for a test down into the 79s with maybe even a shot to break further below that. That would open up a return back to 75, 76, 74, maybe even lower down the way. So again, near term right now showing some weakness here off the previous session's highs. Any pullback could still be an opportunity to defend any pullback into 80, or even as high as really 80.50 to 80.75 could offer a great retest entry down the way for a continuation to the downside. So right now showing a bit of weakness here, but really needs to break back below the 79s here to open up some downside ahead. Looking at gold futures, gold right now just missing out here on the previous month's low, just missing out on the 200-day, just missing out on the 1900 level, and pulling back here in the downtrend. So pulling back, kind of similar to some of these other markets. And are we going to see bears defend the rip for a rotation back down? And how far does it go? Again, 1900 could be the bottom end of the range here. And if we reach this level on the next test, perhaps a rejection could occur and maybe we rotate back up within the range a bit. So right now, again, we're kind of in midair, been trending downward, and now above the previous session's highs. Again, that could offer an opportunity for bears to defend for a test into proper support down below. Right now, still overall bearish and trying to find an edge. Taking a look lastly here at the YM. The YM right now up about 1/3 of 1%. This one looking quite a bit different here from the ES and the NQ. Those markets are currently well beyond the previous session's highs, and right now this market is still approaching those highs. Those highs right there could be very important heading into not only the rest of the session but also days out. We have a good 400-point intraday key range here in the previous session in the YM. That key range right there points to a target that could take us a bit higher, you know, from 700 or even beyond to much higher, into a retest of prior support, their prior support here that was broken, or again a failure at the top of that range brings us down and gets us close to the 33,800 level. So breaking through the lows here, minus 400 points, gets you very close to that 33.8, which is the next level down. Again, this is a downtrending market here. We broke down through that 3-week narrow range, and we're working downward until we see a strong low. Overall, this market could continue to see weakness ahead, and keeping an eye on prices again at 34.7, 34.8. That zone right there could provide an opportunity to sell for bears looking for a continuation down to the next area of support, 33,800. All right, that is it for now. We'll see how this plays out heading into the rest of the session. Good luck, trade well, and I'll see you in the trading room. Take care.